right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to I Quit My Band. Very special episode tonight. My name's Nate.
I'm JJ.
I'm Evan.
I'm Jake.
Jake is here.
I'm getting used to this mess.
Sorry, it's a mess down here. This is our first guest ever. First guest ever on the show. We're making history tonight with Jake Kelley, our buddy from Feeble Little Horse, and Giovanni Orsini and the Inebriators. Are you playing in any other bands now?
Just those two.
Just those two?
Just those two.
It's pretty cool. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'd be listening to this podcast. I watch those Instagram clips too.
Good.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Some hits, some misses. Yeah.
All hits. All hits only.
That's why this man's on the show.
I know.
You want to get on the
I-
seat? This is how you do it.
If you want to come down here, just please suck up to the podcast. Tell us we're doing the best.
Yep.
All killer, no filler, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about.
But seriously, Jake, thanks so much for being here. You're the first person that messaged and said, like, I want to be on the show.
Yeah. I was like, y'all haven't done an episode just strictly on a certain decade of music and a certain genre. I'm like, I would definitely talk about this with y'all.
We really haven't, and so tonight we're doing the grunge era, pretty much. We're doing 90s.
You see how well made Jake is to do this, too? He
Yes.
didn't even reveal our topic. He teased it.
Yeah, that's the
is-
way you
That's
do it.
money.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He let
Consummate
the host
professional.
take care of it.
I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
But yeah, we're doing a special episode tonight. Before we get into it, I just want to say, go follow us on Instagram. Go follow us on...
Damn, dude. We didn't even get to the second one this time, dude.
There's 3 platforms, Nate.
I'm
Go
going to
fill
print out a
this,
poster that's just going to go
I
back
need
there.
a script.
Yeah, you need a little cheat sheet.
I do need
Yeah,
a
you
cheat
need
sheet.
cheat sheet.
I can't keep it straight. I always want to say Twitter, and it's not called Twitter anymore, and we don't use it.
No, it's
So-
called Twitter.
It
It's
is
called Twitter.
Yeah, someone called it an X to me today, and I was like, what?
What are you, a freak?
But yeah, go follow us on Instagram. Go follow us on TikTok.
Hey, there it is.
Go listen on Spotify for audio only, although the
They got
videos
video
are
there,
on
too.
there. Yeah,
What?
I think that's just the smarter thing to do. And sorry, JJ. Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and like and comment on the videos. Let us know what you think of the songs we picked. Tonight we're doing a special decade review. We're doing the 90s. We're exploring the grunge era as per Jake's request. Jake, before we get into it, why did you want to do the 90s?
I want to do the 90s because that's my favorite genre in music. It's just like, also the grunge stuff's awesome, but I like all that weird alternative stuff. The 90s was the time where it wasn't just rock music when it comes to loud guitars. People started being a little weird, opened the doors for a bunch of different sounds.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a nice mix, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like no one really tried to be cool except for Evan.
Yes, this is true, yeah.
No, he just is cool.
No.
We're gonna find out if he's cool.
This is true.
we're gonna-
I
we're
just
gonna
know
find out
nothing
if you're
about
cool.
the songs. Yeah, I just chat pitchforks. I was good. I don't know.
I saw it on Best New Music. I don't know.
Pitchfork redid their score from a 3.2 to a 6.8, so I think it's worth talking
trending
about.
upwards.
It's trending.
No, that's what I liked about the playlist.
Yeah.
Is that it felt like everybody went from the gut. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I did not try to be cool with this. This is my...
No, I know. We'll get to at least one where I'm like, damn, dude.
What, really? Come on.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we're doing the 90s. We're doing the grunge era. We got every good grunge. I feel like we hit on so many of them. And the ones we didn't hit on, maybe we'll do another. Maybe do a follow-up.
Why not?
episode.
Yeah.
I mean, 90s is probably my favorite era as well.
Hands down.
If I think about it.
100%
Yeah.
my favorite era of music of all
Yeah.
time.
I mean, now it's turning into the classics for,
That's
people that are
crazy.
younger, which is great. I mean, how long ago? Fucking
30
years
30
ago.
years ago.
I remember being in junior high, and I was listening to the classic rock station that usually just played everything from like the 60s to like even some mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing "Welcome to Paradise" by Green Day, and I'm like,
Whoa.
I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to paradise. Yeah.
I feel like
We
Pearl
got
Jam
that,
is
right?
like Pearl Jam was probably the first one that the
Yeah.
old dudes were like, they're one of ours.
This is us. Yeah. Eddie Vedder's an old soul. We need him. Yeah, I remember like in 8th grade, I was so obsessed with classic rock like in 8th grade because I was in like a cover band. So like when kids that I was going to school with would be like, yeah, I'm in Nirvana, I'd be like, that new shit? Are you kidding me?
It was already like a decade and a half
Dude,
old.
I was such an asshole. Such a purist asshole in 8th grade. Couldn't even accept Nirvana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a purist
that's
asshole for like your dad's record collection.
For Bachman Turner Overdrive.
I'm taking care of business over here. I don't know
It's
about
not
you.
BTO. What the fuck are you doing? Foghat, BTO, Leonard Skinner. Yeah, that was me in 8th grade.
I was elitist about classic rock when I was like in 5th grade. I was like, AC/DC was the best band
Dude,
that ever
that's,
lived.
Yeah.
that's how I was.
Yeah.
That's how it has to
I
go.
knew how to play Back in Black on guitar, and I didn't refuse to learn anything else.
That's all you need to
Yeah,
know.
that's
That's
really
really,
it.
all you need
Yeah.
to know in 8th grade.
Yeah.
You're a classic rock guy too, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are your classic rock bands?
It was Kiss initially.
Oh,
It was Kiss. I
Oh.
found my dad's old Kiss CDs when I was like 3 or 4, and I'm like, these dudes look scary as hell.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm putting this in the CD player. And then they had a song called Hotter Than Hell. I'm like,
Oh,
this says a
yeah.
bad word. This is my
Hell?
new favorite
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. No, I was the same way. I loved Kiss. Detroit Rock City. There was
Yeah,
the movie.
That's the coolest song.
the best.
the best is like
Oh,
you
the
see.
movie.
The movie is the best.
The movie's so cheesy, but like so good. It was
It's
like that
so
70s show,
good.
the movie.
It really is,
Yeah.
yeah. Edward Furlong. Classic.
Is that an actor in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
Terminator.
Terminator
2.
2.
Come on, dude. John
Dude.
Connor.
Oh,
I
don't
guess
know.
that went over the
I don't-
youngin's head.
I ain't a film buff by any means.
No. Well, Nate is like a 2002 to 2009
Yeah.
film buff, and Evan is an everything film buff.
Yeah. I'm the Comedy Central reruns film buff.
Oh,
I'm like, have you seen the new guy? Because it's a classic. But anyway, let's just stop. Let's get into the playlist. What do you say? Let's just keep it rolling.
It's I Quit My Band.
It's I Quit My Band.
What do we got?
This one's my pick. This is Rain When I Die, Alice in Chains, the 2022 remaster, because every single 90s band had a 2022 remaster.
Post-COVID
yeah.
was like a big time for 90s bands to get
Oh,
shit
yeah.
remastered, it seems like.
I went through a pretty big Alice in Chains phase like 3 weeks ago, where I was just like, what have I always loved hearing? Like, I loved listening to Alice in Chains on the radio, if you ever played on like the X or anything like that. But I don't think I ever really like dug that deep into the records. Like, I knew, the self-titled, and I knew Dirt, but I don't think I really dug in deep to like the deep cuts of Dirt. I started listening to like Junkhead and Sick Man.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, this is like, it is grunge.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I feel like it's even more grunge than Nirvana.
I
Does
think-
that make sense?
I think I think they have a little too much metal influence to call them like quintessential.
They were
grunge.
they were a little bit more hard edged than anybody else. I mean, I don't know, maybe Soundgarden was up there as well, but yeah, I mean, when you picture grunge, like, they were the dirtiest looking guys, I mean, this album is called Dirt. It just like, it makes sense. It feels like a puzzle piece being put into place. Like, they were the quintessential 90s grunge band, and I've always known Rain When I Die. I've always liked it, but re-listening to this album made me think that this might be one of their best songs. It might like put the foundation for a lot of their other shit as well.
Yeah, this
Yep.
rocks.
Yeah, and it kind of also like, there's like, Alice in Chains is one of the few grunge bands that are still going,
Oh, yeah.
even though
With
Lane
the new
Staley-
singer?
with a new singer.
He's got pipes, but he ain't lame.
he ain't
He
Lane.
ain't lame. No one ever would be.
He ain't
He ain't
It's a
lame.
he ain't Lane.
We all
Nah.
know this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sore subject,
Yeah.
Like,
Is
he ain't
it?
Lane, but
Amongst like Chains heads or whatever Alice in Chains fans are
I
called?
would assume
Chains hat.
I don't know.
the chain
I like
gang.
that.
Yeah.
The chain gang.
Chain
The
gang.
chain
Yeah.
gang.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I mean, I'm happy that Jerry Cantrell's still out there.
He's still out there.
because he
Yeah.
rules.
He's great.
Like,
yeah.
he's one of the only guitar players that I've heard use a wah that I'm not just like, turn that fucking thing
Yeah,
off.
yeah. You don't know how to use that.
Like,
you don't-
this-
you ain't Slash.
No, and even Slash, I'm like, buddy,
Come on, dude.
step off it.
Yeah.
No, I love Dirt. This is one of the first albums I ever got. I got it as a little kid on cassette.
Yeah,
Did you were probably too young for the Columbia Record House thing.
I think so.
What's
yeah.
that?
It was like in the early 90s. It was a mail order catalog that you could order music from, but they had this deal where for a penny you got 12 albums, but they expected you to like continue the subscription. And then white trash families like mine would send that penny, take the 12 albums, and go, never again.
Change their address.
Yeah.
Part of the chain.
Start
gang
over
now.
again.
Yeah, Dirt's a good record though. I mean, Rooster's on there too. Jerry wrote that one. Jerry, honestly, this song is a great example of Alice in Chains because Jerry provided the vibe of these tracks in the backing vocals and the writing, and Lane provided the fucking punch.
100%.
You know, and the chorus is so evident of that with Lane
Yeah.
ripping into the I can't fucking sing, but like I'll do my best. Yeah.
I never realized that Jerry had like almost the creepier of the two voices until the new shit came out. I was like, wow, it just still sounds like them. And I was like, oh, Jerry Cantrell was the guy that kind of provided the basis for why these vocals rule so hard.
Their
like
harmonies are so
They're
good.
so good.
There's like a creepy factor to like most of like a lot of the tunes. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Which like kind of
Yeah.
separate. Like obviously like what Nirvana has is like a lot of like raw energy and like unhingedness per
Yeah.
se, but and maybe a little bit of like scary factor. But these guys bring the spooky, dude.
They're so spooky. I mean, they're unplugged.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, the Nutshell Unplugged.
Nutshell
Unmasked.
is so
Nutshell's best
good, dude.
Unplugged.
Fucking so
Nutshell
good.
Very
is
good.
the saddest.
Because
song.
what's that on SAP?
I think
Jar of Flies.
Jar of Flies, yeah.
That's got I Stay Away, right?
I Stay Away.
With the video with the puppets at the carnival.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that little EP. It's good.
It is
very
a cool
good.
thing. Like
That's a creepy song.
very.
I
creepy
Stay
song.
Away.
Yeah, I mean that's such a cool thing that they did was like they were like the hardest. They were the hardest grunge band, and then they just like made like a little acoustic EP where every song is great. Like that's so awesome. Yeah, my appreciation for Alice in Chains it just keeps going up as I get older. I'm just gonna be that guy, you know, with the
You're
dirt
gonna be
t-shirt.
your dad.
Yeah, exactly.
With 90s bands to your
100%,
kids.
yeah.
Dude, I want you to
Yeah.
grow out all this shit back here, little ponytail. Like, Jerry!
Alice in Chains is it's the poster boy. It's the poster child for the blonde goatee that goes down and then just turns pink at the end. Yeah,
That's a sick move.
it was dyed a long time ago, but you know it's still there.
Yeah.
The youthfulness is still there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my pick.
It's symbolic.
Rain When I Die, Alice in Chains. Let's move on.
This is my first pick. This is Cannonball by The Breeders. The Breeders is the band that Kim Deal and her sister Kelly Deal did once the Pixies broke up. And for me, this song is like the epitome of 90s cool. Like, there is no song that sounds cooler than this to me. The bass line coming in, that fucking like slinky little guitar
Yeah.
lick.
Is Kim playing bass on this too?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah, was she
Very
was
nice.
she also she was the lead singer too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and the guitar rake, that like,
Yeah.
I mean, just perfect.
Yeah, I re-listening to it, I didn't realize like how simple this song is. You know what I mean?
it's
Like,
slick.
It's very
it's slick though.
Yeah,
you know?
like it has like the distorted vocals, but like the instruments are really dry. Like I don't know, it is
Yeah.
a really fucking cool song. It makes you feel cool.
It does make you feel cool. Like I could drive around and like, it feels like a Quentin Tarantino-ish sort of deal.
Yeah,
I also know that this is a great song in that my father has had the same 100 songs on his playlist like since I was a child,
yeah.
and this cracked it last year.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I played it enough around him that he was like, "What's that song
What's
called?"
that
with
one?
the with the
Oh, that's sick.
It took him 5 times where he was like, "What's that song?" I was like, "It's called Cannonball" for the last fucking time. Cannonball. And then I eventually came over and he's just like pumping weights in the gym, just like,
He's like, yo, throw on Cannonball real quick. Oh, yeah.
Cannonball. That's cool. That's a cool name. That's cool. Yeah, I know. I love this song. I never go, like I don't know any other Breeders songs besides
I don't
this one. I'll
either.
be honest.
You-
this is a good album. No Aloha's a really good song off this record, and the one that they did right before this, Pod, is a cool record too. That's the one that they did with Albini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have like, they're pop songs, but they're strange. They're very weird. And I love Kim Deal's voice. She sounds like an angel that smokes Pall Malls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it has like this really beautiful quality, but also kind of like a truck driver.
The Tokyo Rose of the trailer park.
There you go.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All I know about the Breeders is Kim's niece Maya goes to WVU in Morgantown, and she has a band. I think they're called Sweet Tooth. And that was like one of the first things she said when she talked to me. She was like, "Oh yeah, my aunt's in a band called the Breeders." I'm like, "Oh,
Wow.
I think I've heard of them before. That's fucking crazy."
She didn't even
I don't know
go
if
to
you
the
heard of-
Pixies. She was like,
Nah, she goes right to the Breeders.
That's
Whoa.
really
Yeah,
that
that's
is
cool.
wild.
That's
That's
very
tight.
cool.
She's like, yeah, she's in a band called the Breeders. I mean, my band is better.
Yeah.
my band, Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That rules.
That's
That is
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
You out
never
there
heard of Sweet Tooth. I
hobnobbing
want to check
with
it out.
indie rock
Yeah.
royalty.
Yeah.
We're down here in the basement.
Yeah, dude.
Ending up in Morgantown, West Virginia,
I know,
of all places.
That
It's
is
the
Yeah.
hot spot, dude.
Where are
1,
the
2,
Breeders
3.
based out of? Does anybody know?
I don't know, because the Pixies
West
came
Coast?
the Pixies came out of Boston. So I would imagine Boston as well, but they also had the Chicago connection with Albini, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm not sure either. Yeah,
Interesting.
cool ass song. Cannonball by the Breeders. Should we move on?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Evan's dad's favorite song.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, yeah. Okay, so
Here's
this
you, Jake.
this is my pick. This is "Give It Away" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and the reason I had to pick this one, I despise the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Really?
Yeah, I despise them until I was like in 7th grade. I was a big Green Day fan, big in Alice in Chains, Nirvana, but whenever someone was trying to tell me about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I'm like, bro, they suck. And I'm like, they suck. And then they did that Super Bowl performance, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And then they played this song, and I'm like, this song is the most annoying thing I've ever heard in my life. And then it keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. I was like, this song fucking sucks. And then I was at school, and I was just like, I was like, give it away, give it away. I'm like, why is it stuck in my head? And I listened to it again. I'm like, this still sucks. And then it's still stuck in my head. And then I kept listening to it. I'm like, and then I got to the point where I was like, this is the greatest song I've ever heard in my life.
I kept waiting for
I
the
was-
line. You were like,
yeah.
and it still sucks.
And no, I had to go through all of that to get to the point where I'm like, this song fucking rips. I know every word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get to the point where you're like, okay, I think I actually just like it. I've been listening to it to hate listening to it so many times.
Your taste tried to reject it so many times,
really did.
but it just destroyed
It
it.
happens to me all the time. Yeah.
That happened. I mean, this podcast, that's the embodiment
That
of this podcast.
truly is the
For
reason
me,
of this
Nate, and
podcast.
Evan, is
Yeah.
like we drill something into our heads so much, like prepping for the Creed v. Nickelback episode, and now I have tickets to go see Creed
Yeah.
in a few months.
And you're spending
You want to see
money.
Creed?
Yeah.
Where are
Oh,
they
yeah,
playing?
dude.
Star Lake, dude.
Are you
It's gonna be
excited?
awesome. Yeah, I'm geeked. It was a Valentine's Day gift to me.
We went
That's
to go
sweet.
see
That's sweet.
Nickelback.
Yeah, we
Us
saw
three.
Nickelback
Yeah.
last year.
It was terrible.
It was
so bad.
really bad
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
But Give It Away, I had a similar experience. I saw the Chili Peppers live once, and it was the worst live performance I've ever seen.
That's because Anthony Kiedis doesn't know how to sing.
Yeah.
And even on the recordings, he doesn't, but he still makes it work. Who else? People are like, the Red Hot Chili Peppers suck because Anthony Kiedis can't sing. Who else could stand in his shoes and make it the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No one.
That's
No
true.
one could.
I mean, because if you
That's
listen
true.
to just the instrumental of this song, it sounds
awesome.
like a lowrider made of trombones.
With the fucking jaw harp in the background for some reason.
It's like, how do you make a pop song out of this? And he's like, I got it. Skip bop doop bop dip bop dip.
The scat power,
Yeah, and
dude.
they're like, and here's your 7-time platinum record.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, they earned that 7-time platinum record.
Yeah,
though.
they
They
earned
really
that.
did.
I loved this album so much growing
It's
up.
So good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
I
Power of
sorry.
Quality into If You Have to Ask. I love that.
Badass.
It's so
Do I
slick.
know everything off this album? Hold on.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic, right?
Funky Monks. I mean, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
there's a song called that.
When I saw the Chili Peppers play live, they phoned it in so hard, but they still did all like their shit. Like somehow, even though Flea was walking out on stage doing a handstand, it felt disingenuous. It's like
He's
another,
just
another city, another fucking handstand. I gotta go do.
Yeah.
He's just a wild man
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
crazy.
You
Yeah.
ever you hip to Sir Psycho Sexy, Nate?
Oh, yeah.
Psycho Sex.
Sir Psycho
Sir
Sexy.
Psycho Sexy.
Wait, what
yeah.
is that?
It's
a
like the
song-
second to last song on the
Oh,
record.
okay.
It
song.
has the most vulgar lyrics I've ever heard in a song. It genuinely.
As a part of the show, just let's just listen to it.
It's insane. There's a part where he talks about getting pulled over by a lady cop and she like borderline sexual assaults him, but he
Sick.
likes it because he's Anthony Kiedis.
Because he's Sir Psycho Sexy.
Because he's Sir Psycho
Yeah.
Sexy.
He was so psycho sexy that they knighted him. Like with the sword.
Psycho Sexy.
Psycho sexy.
Is Under the Bridge on this album?
Yeah.
Sure
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's the song. Dude.
I got
Suck
stopped.
My Kiss.
It's pretty. It's a pretty
Suck
song.
My Kiss is good.
It's a fucking
Yeah.
badass song.
I got stopped by a lady cop in my automobile. She said, "Get out and spread your legs."
Ooh.
And then
And
she
she
tried to cop a feel. Wow.
That's
the
hot.
cop, she was all dressed in blue. Was she pretty? Boy,
Boy,
I'm telling you. Wow, he really is Sir Psycho Sexy.
Yeah, he
He
rules.
got knighted. I tried to have a Red Hot Chili Peppers phase in high school when Frusciante quit and they got
Oh,
Josh
Klinghoffer.
Klinghoffer. I was like, this is the time for me to get into Red
You
Hot
really
Chili
bought
Peppers.
the
I was like,
dip,
you know,
dude.
I really did. I was like, we got to get in on the ground floor,
They
the
put out-
Klinghoffer era.
Was that when they put out the album with the bug and the
Yeah,
pill?
I'm with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Adventures of Rain Dance Maggie. That was a good song.
That's a
song.
great. That bass line
Yeah.
is so catchy.
Yeah, it
so
is.
catchy.
And he had a different way of like approach the guitar to the band. It wasn't like
He's rad.
he wasn't noodling. He was just it was just distort. He like didn't know how to play. He didn't know how to do it. He didn't have the sauce.
He still
But
had
I
like
like
1,000 pedals
Yeah.
though. You ever
Yeah.
watch his rig
Yeah.
rundown? There's
He
like
was a-
1,500
Yeah.
pedals in front of him.
Yeah, Klinghoffer's cool. He's
Yeah.
got my respect.
Yeah.
Over Frusciante.
Yeah, they had
Over
a.
Frusciante?
Klinghoffer greater
Did you
than
say over?
Frusciante.
Did you really
Over-
just say that?
Yes.
Frusciante wrote
Doubling
so many
down.
of the best
I
Chili
mean,
Peppers
I
songs.
know. I'm
Okay.
just.
I like.
You're
I
Sir
like
Psycho
Klinghoffer, though.
sucky, dude. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Just Sir Psycho. I'm twisted over here.
They had Klinghoffer's vocals way too quiet on that "I'm With You" album. His harmonies and
He's
his
a
backing
good
vocals.
singer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That "Monarchy of Roses" song.
Yeah,
his
it's a
backing
good
vocals
song.
are so
Yeah.
clean.
I love that song.
Yeah.
clean.
There's good songs out there.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me on Klinghoffer.
Don't
fuck with me.
I checked out on Stadium Arcadium. I hit Jupiter and I was like, I've had enough.
Yeah, you
what?
heard "Humped It Bump" and you're like, "Fuck
Humped
this!
It
I'm out of here."
Yeah.
What about I Like Dirt, dude? That's a good song.
Oh yeah, you put that one on
I like
a
that.
long time
Right
ago.
next there.
Yeah, that was not good. Well, that's Give It Away by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Let's
Yeah.
move on.
This is Maya Dish.
Let's get dark in here.
Let's get. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, as the resident dark and mysterious man on the podcast.
That's not you.
No, dude.
Evan's the one wearing all black.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Evan's
Evan's
the
wearing
resident
black.
goth.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
the bad bitch.
Yeah.
I'm the bad bitch. As the resident,
Yeah.
as the resident bad bitch of the podcast, I had to add a Soundgarden tune, and Black Hole Sun is just the song for that because of Rock Band. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I listened to this song on Rock Band and played it a lot, and it still hits for me.
So hard
Still
to play
rips.
on Rock Band.
It's so easy on
Yeah.
drums. Yeah.
It's the Through the Fire and the Flames for 36-year-old guys. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. This song rules. I don't care. I think my girlfriend hates it, and she always tells me to turn it off when it's on. But I love this song. I don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Chris Cornell has the best voice out of all the grunge singers. I'm not
think so.
necessarily the biggest like Soundgarden fan. I like the stuff I've heard. Spoon Man is sick,
Yeah.
but his voice, it's like butter. It's like fucking
so
butter.
good.
So
Yep.
Pure.
We've talked about Audio Slave a lot on this show.
We did a supergroup episode.
We did the supergroup episode. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think he does have the best voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad Motorfinger is probably one of my favorite grunge albums,
Mm-hmm.
like top 3 probably. I love that record. This is a song that I don't know if there's any other song that I've ingested involuntarily more.
yeah,
Then
I
Black
was
Hole
just
Sun.
about to say that.
Like
That's true.
it's probably that and Sweet Home Alabama that I've gotten hit with more
Two
of like
different ends of the spectrum.
basically.
Completely.
And this more than Sweet Home Alabama, I'm still kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'll listen to Black Hole Sun in the car.
I like Matt Cameron's drumming on this song
Yeah.
a lot. His like, he emphasizes weird beats. His
Yeah.
fills come in and like, his fills a lot of times feel like he's like catching back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very Kim Thale guitar riff as well. Because he's not a great guitar player. Like, I feel like he's more of a weird riff creator. And this is one of the weirdest, like, riff melodies.
Big time.
in the
He's
90s.
That's what makes Soundgarden though.
Yeah.
You sometimes need a weirdo riff maker.
100%.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good point.
Is that it? Is that what
That's
all
all
we
I
got
got.
in Black
I think
Hole
that's
Sun?
all we got.
Is that all we
Black
got?
Hole
Yeah,
We've
Sun.
heard it enough times.
Yeah.
Like, it's Black Hole Sun.
But it is a sick song.
It is a good
It is a
song.
sick-
I was
I mean,
listening
well,
to it the other
All
day.
right, the part that's the down, 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 down,
Yeah.
is like
Another weird riff.
they
that just
bury
is
that
awesome.
shit at the end,
Yeah.
and that really
Yeah.
makes it worth it to get through all of it. You know, to make
We-
that part.
We brought up Bad Motorfinger. How do you feel about Super Unknown?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's very like, in comparison, it's very polished.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it.
But though the songs on Bad Motorfinger just like,
They hit a little harder.
fuck yeah. I mean, Slaves and Bulldozers is
It's the one
all
of the
timer.
best. Yeah.
Jesus Christ Pose, Outshined. I mean,
Ah,
come on.
Yeah.
Drawn Flies. I mean, I love every song.
So good.
all those songs.
Yeah.
That's the album you told me to listen
Yeah.
to.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, that
Yeah.
shit rips.
It rules.
Yeah.
That's Black Hole Sun, Soundgarden. Let's move on. Here's one of my picks. This is I can't really hear it right now. I'll skip forward a bit. But this is Hummer by the Smashing Pumpkins. The Smashing Pumpkins, I think, are my like legitimate favorite '90s band.
They're
I-
awesome.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they were ahead of their time, especially with Siamese Dream. Like, this album is so good. The guitar tones on this record are amazing.
He built insane guitar walls. He's like Billy
Yeah.
Corgan's known for like just like layering the fuck out of
Yeah.
guitars,
Yeah.
but this album is like his baby
It's
when it comes
so-
to this. At least
yes.
to my ears.
I agree. So thick. The guitars, like, almost fit in, like, with today's, shit that's coming out now. It's like, it's more fuzz, I think. Like, it has, like, a fuzz rock, like, psychedelic element to the guitar tone.
He almost gets like scientific with it if you ever hear
Yeah.
him talking about it. And I agree. I mean, this album is amazing
Mm-hmm.
for
What I-
all that kind of shit.
And with how like gnarly the guitars sound, they're not taking up all the frequencies. So
Yeah.
Jimmy Chamberlain's drums sound
They sound
amazing.
great.
True.
Like his snare sounds perfect.
Yeah.
And
You
you can
know?
hear the bass, too. The bass is also really raw. Like, for no fuzz on that bass and just on the guitars, it's still just so fucking crunchy. This song in particular, I feel like blends the guitars together really well. Like, the harmonies in the beginning.
Yeah, it just sounds like a wall of bees.
Yeah,
but
it
they're
does.
all flying in formation.
Yeah, exactly. The bees.
almost like they're humming.
Oh,
or something. Almost like
Yeah.
that.
shit.
Exactly.
Damn,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is why he's on
This
the
is,
pod.
he's
I'm
bringing
having fun.
new things to the table.
You guys don't need me anymore.
Did you
we don't need anyone. It's gonna be the Jake Kelley
The
hour.
Jake Kelley hour, yeah.
have y'all heard the lore about Billy Corgan like recording this intro?
No.
Oh.
He recorded the intro of the song so many times he got the most ear-splitting headache.
Really?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and that makes sense with how loud the guitars were cranked and like the tones they got. I could see
Yeah.
that happening.
So sick. And it was between this song or, like, I mean, there's so many other fucking
I would
good
have.
songs.
So I
Cherub
Cherub
Rock.
Rock.
Hummer. Cherub Rock is another, like, Black Hole Sun.
That
one
got
where-
me into Pumpkins.
Yeah,
Cherub Rock.
so good.
Yep.
But then, like, Mayonnaise, like a real deep cut.
It's a James E. He wrote that riff. Like,
so fucking
yeah,
good.
that was a gift
Yeah.
that Eha gave to the Pumpkins because
Yeah.
Billy wrote most of the shit.
I
and
thought
he
so,
was Mr.
yeah.
Control Freak
I didn't know
over
James
everything.
Eha wrote that song.
I didn't know
He wrote the
Yeah.
riff.
So
Yeah.
good.
Geek USA is my number one.
With the snare, starting
yeah.
with that snare
Yeah.
roll. Mm.
I've tried to play that so many times
Yeah.
on drums, and like it's at like the absolute fastest I
Yeah.
can play it. And I was on YouTube just this weekend. Jimmy Chamberlain did a video of him doing it at a drum seminar. He looked like a contract killer.
I watched
Like,
that same
really?
video. Yeah, he's a great drummer. He's trained on jazz, and like people
no
say,
shit.
you know what they call a failed jazz drummer, a rock drummer. Jimmy Chamberlain, he defies that shit because he took all those jazz chops and he like made
Wow.
it. He made it so relevant to rock music.
100%. I love that you can always hear his left foot. Like,
Yeah.
always
Yep.
clicking the hi hat.
That's the jazz
Yeah.
thing,
Yep.
dude. I was like the last one to add my songs to our playlist, and I added a bunch and then saw I didn't want to do repeats or whatever, but I added Quiet and I decided
Ah.
to delete it. That's my
Quiet
favorite
is so
song.
good. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Rocket. This whole album is fucking real.
It's amazing.
And it's unlike any other, like, 90. Like, wouldn't even consider Smashing Pumpkins, like, really that grunge. Like, maybe
No.
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, but, like, this album has a very, like, positive, bright sound to it.
it's
Where
very
it's
like shoegazy.
yeah, a little bit shoegazy. It's not about, it's really not a depressing record.
His voice is just like perfect for the music that it is. It's like
Yeah.
incredible and
Yeah.
unique in a lot of ways.
And they're also still going and sort of ruining that legacy with each record that they put out, but it's all
Or
right.
each triple album that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, what do you say about this new one? This like new 3-part thing. He was like,
Yeah.
it's a
It's a rock
sequel.
opera.
It's
Yeah.
a sequel to Machina and Melancholy. Let it
Dude,
let it
Just
go.
let it die.
do something
Yeah.
new. Do something new.
Yeah.
He's always trying to reinvent the wheel with the new records.
Yeah.
It's like
When
just-
I like that Oceana record, or
I thought
however-
Oceana
I thought that was
was
cool
good.
because
Yeah.
it's like so different than
Yeah.
everything else they put out. I like the synth heavy stuff. They never really went back to that.
Yeah.
but
I saw
I
that.
liked
remember
it.
Zeitgeist being decent.
Zeitgeist
I like
was okay.
Tarantula. That
Yeah,
song
that's a cool
rips.
song.
That song
I saw
rips.
them last year. I feel like I'm just the I saw them in concert guy
Yeah.
on this podcast, but I saw them last year and they were like great.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
such
because they
a
got Jimmy and James back.
yeah.
They got him
Yep.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. Billy Corgan was in his like moo like dress thing. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Him and fucking Buzz Osborne.
Yeah.
Just
Buzz
always
Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin.
Is that the
Dude,
dude
we
from the
saw the
Melvins?
moon.
Dude, he went to the moon after Neil Armstrong.
And then he fucking shredded.
Also, this is just a weird thing. I stayed at a guy's house when we went down for South by Southwest like years ago. We
Yeah.
stayed at a friend of mine's buddy's house, and he had one of James Eha's Marshall stacks that he had
Whoa.
bought.
Why?
Yeah.
Where'd he get
Just-
that?
Yeah.
He just had a shitload of money and bought it. I forget where he said he bought it, but
Reverb,
like it
dude.
had like you could see like the tour shit that they had on it, like
Oh,
the
wow.
instructions and stuff.
The
That's
stencils
awesome.
and shit.
I was like, "Can I plug it in?" He's like, "Absolutely not."
Don't even
Actually,
go near it.
quit looking at it.
What's the point
you
of
leave-
having
Yeah.
it if you can't sound like James Eha?
Yeah.
It's a coffee table now, Evan. Please don't bother.
He's like, I actually gutted it and
Yeah.
made it a coffee table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you would have had it, you'd be like, yeah, well, it's more mine now than James Eha's. I've had more use out of it than that guy.
Yeah, I changed everything precious about it to make it mine.
It's more of the Evan Mulgrave signature amp. Let's move on. That's Hummer, Smashing Pumpkins. Go check it out if you haven't.
This is my second pick. This is Radiohead with Paranoid Android. Yeah, I feel like if there's so much great music of the 90s, but like when I think of the creative peak of alternative rock, I think of OK Computer. Love this album. I love this song so much. This, like, so much of 90s alt rock was kind of like a rejection of classic rock. But what I like about this song a lot is it feels like an extension of Bohemian Rhapsody or like A Day in the Life.
Yeah.
Like one
Yeah.
of those like big
It's an epic.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
That's a good way to put it.
Multiple parts. But you know, it's steeped in all the weird like 90s freak out paranoia kind
Yeah.
of stuff. I definitely wanted a song from OK Computer because I love that record.
Yeah.
Like if I was gonna pick the one everybody liked, it would be like Karma Police.
Yeah.
My favorite's No Surprises. But if I had to think of like the high point creatively, it's this song. I fucking love this song.
This is the first song I remember. My mom got me this CD for Christmas when I was
Whoa.
maybe like 14.
Oh hell yeah!
That's really
it was the
cool.
first time
Cool
I
mom alert.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
my
is-
mom's awesome. She's responsible for a lot of the music taste I have, which is mostly a good thing.
Cheers
My
to
mom
Jake's
was like,
mom.
here's a Poison CD.
Oh, she
no
liked the
longer uses.
my dad was a fan of Poison. My mom liked the Go-Go's. But what I was saying was like this is the first time I like heard rock music and heard like the weirdest fucking sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because Johnny Greenwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
Yep.
His tremolo picking in this song after they come into the riff the second time, where it's just that like fucking, dude.
The
I love
riff
it
is
so
great
much.
too.
Great riff.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about like this era of Radiohead is they would still fucking rock, you know. And what I love about this song is they give you the sick riff, they give you that big operatic section, and then they come back to the sick riff
Yeah.
just to let you know this is what it was all about.
They're covering all the bases.
Yeah.
They truly are. I mean, I was go ahead, Evan.
No, you go because the
I
part
was
of-
just, well, I mentioned like dudes with sick singing voices with when we were talking about Smashing Pumpkins. I mean, I think we talked about The Smile like a month or two ago or
Yeah.
something like that. Tom York, in any other setting besides music he's creating, like if he was in, you know, a heavier band or like something like that, it would sound a little strange because his voice is so unique. And
Yeah.
like he holds out those notes
he
and
like soars over.
Yeah.
shit.
He
it
really
does,
does.
and it like touches but never gets to ugly. But it's like
It's coming right here.
sure. Yeah, there you go.
God damn, dude.
So good.
Every time.
Yeah.
It touches on ugly, but it never gets there.
Never
Yeah,
goes over.
yeah.
Never gets
Still
there.
remains pretty
Amazing
the whole time.
control.
I saw Radiohead at Bonnaroo in 2012. It was like a 2.5 hour long set where they made us sit through all of King of Limbs.
Oh,
yikes.
damn.
But they closed with this, and I was just like, hell.
Was it
fucking yes.
King of Limbs and then just plus this song, or did they have
No,
it
it was like 2.5 hours of music.
It's like, yeah, we'll throw you a bone, but it's King of Limbs.
But it
alright?
was a lot of King of Limbs where I was like, oh, jeez.
Gotta get
If I
outta
want to take
here.
a piss, I'll never come back. So I'm here for 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
that's
Wow. At a festival, you said?
Bonnaroo, yeah.
Wow, a 2.5 hour festival set is kind of indulgent. I
it's
mean, they're
Radiohead.
Radiohead. They
can
can
get away with it.
Yeah.
I have an odd question, but I don't know. This might have been 2012. Was that the same year Primus was there? That could have been 20, because I remember watching like the same Primus video live at Bonnaroo when I was like 13.
They may have been, and we'll get to maybe why I didn't go to the Primus set at Bonnaroo.
Coming up here
There might
shortly.
be a fucking
Actually-
the first ever I Quit My Band boxing match.
Whoa.
Get the gloves now.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Coming
talking
up
about.
right now.
Let's go. That's what we call a transition. Oh, yeah, baby.
Liquid Death Casualty.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, this is my other pick. I love Primus. I've never heard anything so weird in my whole life, but like so catchy at the same time. And when I found out that the bass player was also singing at the same time, I was like, "What the hell
Yeah.
is going on?"
That is insane.
It's
Yep.
wrapping your head around just doing that while also singing. That's why his leg is just always going up during his live
Yeah.
performance. He's got to keep it somehow.
And I was like the biggest fan of Robot Chicken when I was 8 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And when I
Perfect.
found out that the singer of this band did the theme song for that, I was like, there's a
South
reason I love this
Park?
band.
Oh
my
and
God.
South Park.
Both
And South Park.
and Robot Chicken.
Both South Park
I
and
thought
Robot
it was
Chicken.
just South Park.
Well,
Yeah.
Les Claypool by himself did Robot Chicken.
Oh, okay.
Primus did South
South
Park.
Park, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on. I mean, we've talked about Primus on the show. I'm more on Jake's side. There's Primus songs that I legitimately love.
Same here. Like,
Yeah.
Over the Electric Grapevine
Yeah.
is a fucking great song.
Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
I was just going to say
Yeah.
That's a good one, but like a song like Lacquerhead, it's so good, and there's insane breakdowns on it. They go metal, they go fucking weird twee little not twee but like twangy. It's you can't put Primus in a genre, which I think encapsulates the 90s pretty damn well.
I mean, this is
Yeah, this
sick.
this is
This is
sick.
incredibly sick.
It's so cool. I remember being like 15 years old playing the guitar, and I thought I was so cool for learning Larry's parts because he weaved through the bass line so well for the Primus stuff. And it seems like super simplistic, but some of the stuff he pulls off, some of those shapes that Larry's doing, like all around the musicianship in Primus is cool. And plus, he's got that weird ass voice that
Yeah,
a
dude.
lot of people hate, which
And
is fine.
His lyrics
But I think
are
it's
crazy
awesome.
too. My bandmate James is a enormous Les Claypool / Primus guy. It's like his favorite dude in the world. And so I've gotten quite the Primus education the past couple of years. I really was indifferent / ignorant to the band prior, but I'm a big Brown Album
Yeah.
guy, dude. Shake Hands with Beef.
Shake Hands with Beef rules.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Those drums are so big.
It just sounds like nothing. It's just.
I think
That bass tone is wild.
Yeah.
I've never really dug in on Primus. I've probably listened to more Primus in the last year than I have like the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I think like the cheese, the pork soda, it seemed to have like the same sense of humor I did in like 3rd grade, and I felt odd as an adult like going
I mean,
back
what are you
to
doing
it.
on the show if
Very
you don't have
true.
the same
Yeah.
sense of
The
humor? that you had
defense
in
rests.
3rd
What do you
grade?
want from me?
Get out of here, dude.
Their whole thing is like, I think they have like merch that says Primus sucks. on
Yeah, I
it.
was just gonna
So,
ask Jake.
like-
Have you been to a Primus show? Have you seen them live?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to one day though.
Yeah,
I know I will.
I mean, they
I
come
know I
to
will.
Pittsburgh a good bit, but I've heard that their fans yell "Primus sucks"
Yeah.
during their sets.
Kind of
I-
like a Kurt Angle type
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think that comes from they were doing a tour with maybe like Rush or something, and people were like saying Primus sucks before then. But I know it came from people just going Primus sucks in the audience.
They just like, hell yeah,
They're
dude.
like, yeah,
And they're
we
like,
do
yeah.
suck.
Yep.
Yeah,
What I
that's
think
so cool.
what I will give, like, Primus is a perfect example of why the 90s ruled, is because that was released on a major label.
Yes, yes,
do shit like that.
Exactly.
A guy that maybe can't sing is playing the weirdest bass line you've ever heard.
Just
in your entire
really
life.
good at bass. Just spent all of his time in his room as a kid, just getting insanely good at bass.
Yeah,
And they're like,
everybody-
we're gonna put you on TV.
Yeah.
And we're gonna put you everywhere, and you're gonna be the guy for this band.
So-
you're gonna go on David Letterman.
Yeah, and the melody to our hit single is you like whispering.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're ashamed yourself of the song.
Yeah.
They're go. I don't. Do you guys know about the tour they're on? Like they're putting on like a 3-way split album with a perfect circle and a Pucifer.
Pucifer.
Aren't those
That was
both
Pucifer?
Maynard?
Maynard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That checks out. That's cool.
Friends with Maynard.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Shake hands with Maynard.
Shake hands with me, dude. Yeah.
Let's move on. That's Primus, Jerry's racecar driver.
Yeah. Let's
Which
get a
one
little
do you
smooth
think?
for
Yeah.
a sec. This is
A little bit of
my
a switch up.
second pick. We're doing a vibe shift. This is Can't Heat by Jamiroquai. And I got I attributed Rock Band to Black Hole Sun. I got to attribute Napoleon Dynamite to this one. This song is amazing.
I didn't know this was Jamiroquai.
Yeah.
The only Jamiroquai song I know is Virtual Insanity.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, this song rules, and it's just like a really good vibe. And then there's like a key change at the perfect time later in the song. It just gets my blood pumping. I want to fucking dance.
I can this is one of those beats that isn't that complicated, but I feel like drummers just love.
Oh my
that
God,
just
Yep.
This
Sit in that
BPM is just
pocket.
so
Yeah.
fun to just like sit there. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You can just be playing like 4 on the floor, baby, and it doesn't
See,
matter. It's
JJ,
not boring.
I'm glad you put this song in here. Nothing makes me want to shake my ass more than the fucking Jamiroquai.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
feel free.
Yeah.
I think our viewers would love it.
Set. Yeah.
No, they got to pay for the fucking Patreon.
Yeah,
for that.
that's how you
Pay for the Patreon for that.
Stick
For that
around for the
exclusive
Patreon.
content.
Yeah. Exclusive
You
Jake
heard it
Kelley
here
dance
first.
content.
Jake Kelley
Yeah.
shakes his ass on
Yeah.
Patreon.
I quit my band only.
Yeah, Jamiroquai, like my beginning and ending was of knowing about him is that video Virtual
Yeah,
Insanity.
me too. Yeah.
And now that I heard this, I was like, oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
he's got some shit, dude.
This
Yeah.
song rocks, dude.
Yeah, I knew
goes
it
so
from
hard.
Napoleon Dynamite, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I should listen to more Jamiroquai.
Yeah.
How big of a deal was Jamiroquai in the 90s? Like,
That
I have
album
no idea.
was huge.
there's legitimate Jamiroquai fans, right? Like, there's got to be.
I would imagine.
I feel like I heard
we got one
Jim-
sitting here right now.
Yeah, we do have
Yeah.
one. I knew
What's
one.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I heard Jim say that he was like going to see Jamiroquai once.
like my drummer
like,
Jim,
yeah,
our
Jim
drummer
Conner.
Jim. Yeah, yeah. I don't think. I would. I may have to ask him some questions.
Maybe, yeah. Next
Did
time
he
I
have
see
a
him, I'll be like,
bandage around his head when he said that? I don't know.
with a big red spot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Just like one of those big, like
Going to see
cartoonish
Jamiroquai.
lumps.
A goiter. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a sick song.
Yeah, I'm going to see
And another
Jamiroquai.
like the '90s ruling is like that there was space for a guy just playing like funk soul
Yeah,
to also be enormous
with a
Yeah.
fuzzy hat.
Yeah.
with a fuzzy hat
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
lot of treadmills.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody got a shot in the '90s, and the weirder the better. That's why it's one of the best decades of music, if not the best.
It's the decade
So
for the
far.
people.
So far.
That's why we're doing this
Evan,
episode.
Evan,
Yeah.
were you
It's the
born in the
best.
90s?
I was born in the '80s, bro.
Ooh, so 3 90s kids and a... Wait,
A
were you
fossil.
Yeah, guess what year I was born?
Oh, boy.
Wait, were you born
Are
in
you-
the 90s?
No,
Oh,
Shit.
2001,
God,
dude.
no, you're damn
A Space
close.
Odyssey.
2,
2000.
3.
Wow.
2000. I was a 2000 baby.
Whoa.
Dude.
crazy,
2K, dude.
I for a second I thought we were all 90s babies.
I thought
You
so
were
too.
born during the
I
millennium,
forget
dude.
that
I mean,
I'm
I
old.
was
Yeah.
4. I was born in 96.
You're 90
so-
what?
96.
96?
So I'm
94.
a fake 90s kid.
I'm 94.
Yeah.
Best year.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Whatever.
Let's move on.
I don't know why.
All right. Yep. This is what I like to hear.
Yep.
Here we go.
So Green Day's the greatest band of all time.
Oh my God! I
whoa.
did not expect this from you, Jake.
I love Green Day. Green Day's fantastic. It's everything I wanted to hear when I was 12 years old. And my drum teacher at the time, I remember watching the VMAs with my sister, maybe like 2012, and Green Day was promoting that fucking trilogy shit show they did.
Trey.
Uno Dos Trey.
Yeah.
And it was right around the time Billy was like doing his insane freak out shit. However, this was a cool performance they did. They played a song called Let Yourself Go, and they let the whole crowd in while they were playing it. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Was it the 1 fucking minute?
1 minute.
It wasn't that one, but
That was
I
at
was
the
referenced. That was like,
Oh, okay.
yep.
Yeah, I didn't think that was that long ago. That one.
That was still 2012,
Yeah.
but this was a different performance. But then I was telling my drum teacher, I only did like a little bit of drum lessons, but I was like, I love Green Day. He was like, you got to listen to Dookie.
Yeah.
And
Dookie's
so,
the best.
Yeah, my uncle got it for me for Christmas, and I listened to the whole thing. Loved Burnout. JJ knows what I'm talking about. The drums, first track with a drum solo.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Trey Cool's just fucking shredding out
Trey
there.
Cool's awesome, and
Yeah.
Green Day didn't need a lead guitarist because they had Mike Dirnt playing the bass, filling it. Like his bass lines were so sweet.
Yeah.
I did not expect this from you, Jake.
Green Day was like the biggest band for me growing up.
Everyone loves Green. I
Love
didn't
Green
know
Day.
that Green Day was like this. I mean, I know they have a huge fan base, but I guess it's just I was never a huge Green Day fan.
I
like
was an
Dookie.
American.
Dookie's right.
I was an
Dude,
American Idiot guy. That's where, like,
You
I
were-
had like a moment Jake's describing with American Idiot. That's where I was.
American Idiot's got what like Paranoid Android with those epics, Jesus of
Yeah,
Suburbia,
yeah, Jesus of
Homecoming,
Suburbia is
all
cool.
those songs that go right into each other.
Yep.
They made an album worth of epics.
I
Yeah.
imagine the Radiohead fan that hears Jesus of Suburbia mention the same name as Paranoid Andrew, just like,
what?
I don't care. It's the same theme.
Yeah.
this album rules. Like the opening chords of this song make me just want to go into a half pipe. I've never done it.
No, it was in the
It's
Surf's Up
so-
movie with the penguins.
I
straight up was.
I just want to go right in, just be staring at my like radial bone coming
Yeah.
out of my forearm 9 seconds later.
Jacoby Shaddix coming up. Whoa,
Yeah, exactly.
that's disgusting.
I listened to the first 3 chords of Welcome to Paradise. I thought I could do the 900.
Yeah. It's
Woke up
so
7
Tony
days
Hawk.
later.
It's so Tony Hawk Pro Skater. This album.
So good.
What's the song? When I Come Around was the first song I learned on guitar. I'm
That's
pretty
a
sure.
good song.
I'm pretty
I
sure
was
like
I couldn't stop playing it. I mean, it's still a great song.
I can't explain it, and there's no facts to this because it's untrue. But I could live in a world where, like, the company Vans wouldn't exist if this album didn't.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. They needed something to go.
They needed
off
some
of.
juice.
They wouldn't be where they are today.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
without Dookie.
Yeah, without Duke.
Without
No.
Duke.
And I reflected on it after listening to this again. I forgot like a core memory of my life that probably shaped me being in bands was, it was like 1st or 2nd grade, and we went to the middle school talent show, and a group of 8th graders covered Brain Stew.
Oh, sick.
That's the coolest thing ever.
To this day,
Yeah.
the most gnarly pit I've ever
Oh,
been
yeah.
in. Just a bunch of 1st and 2nd grade. We
At a
lost our
talent
fucking
show?
dude. We went insane. I had a headache for like 3 days.
That rules.
Like our teacher was like, "Stop! What are you doing?" And just like, "Damn it." Done it. And I was like, I'm going to be in a band.
Yeah.
I'm going to destroy my life someday.
That should
Yep.
be a fucking music video.
Yeah.
Talent show. Teachers like, stop playing this music.
And what's even better is, like, to a 1st grader watching an 8th grader play it, it sounded better than the CD quality.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've heard enough 8th graders try to cover Brain Stew
Yeah.
that what I was hearing was absolute dog shit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
That says a lot that, like, you, an adult man,
you still remember?
has
that.
been to he has been to many concerts, and that you were in 1st grade,
1st grade.
and that was the
That was it, dude. The gnarliest pit.
That rules. Yeah.
Best show I've ever been to. 8th grade talent show.
I had a headache for a couple days after.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how you know it was a real one.
Concussions
I was
weren't real.
catching bows, dude.
This band, they were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Played their own original song.
Original song, Brain Stew.
AKA 25 or 6 to 4,
Yeah.
But
basically.
the thing is,
really.
if no one heard that song before and they were like, "This is an original song," it's the most
my God.
simplistic
Oh,
chord.
yeah.
They would
Easy.
believe that it
They
was an
probably
original
would.
song by 8th graders.
yeah.
On my own, here we go.
Yeah, Brain Stew does rule.
I'm listening to
though.
all
It
of
does
Dookie
rule.
on my drive home tonight.
Yeah,
After this.
I need a
I like that,
reappreciation.
JJ.
of
The Phil's
Dookie.
Tabasco case are
Oh.
the best,
the
dude.
best.
Yep.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Trey Cool is a little madman.
He's
He
actually
still
pretty
is.
good. Yeah.
He
He
is.
rips.
And you're right. Mike Dirnt is a fucking awesome bassist.
And he's
He
got,
was
like, a
great
really
bassist.
Long view?
You want
The amount of bad long views you hear in Guitar
Yeah.
Center?
Oh, yeah.
You love that.
He was tripping on so much acid when he wrote that.
Are you
that's
serious?
Yeah,
amazing.
he was.
Is
he
there a
was-
story behind that?
Yeah, Billy talks about it in a couple interviews, but he was like, he was like, I was sitting in the basement with Mike, and we were both doing a lot of acid, and Mike just looks at me and goes, dude, his eyes were like, it's so wide, and he goes, and
That's awesome.
I love
just
too-
being so high on drugs. Like,
we can
I'm
thank
still
LSD
good,
for that
baby.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you think of like Dark Side of the Moon, not like fucking skate park shit. You know?
Not
That's
long
true.
view. Yeah.
Well, and that's what separates the geniuses from the rest of us, because
Yeah.
normal people take acid and they're like, "Oh, dude, let's watch
Yeah.
YouTube."
Yeah.
These guys
Yeah.
are like,
Yeah.
"Let's
He's
play."
like, let's write long view.
Let's
now.
write a sick song.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
That's Welcome to Paradise by Green Day. Let's keep it going here, folks. Here's one of my picks.
Thanks for putting the core track on here.
Dude,
Love
we
core.
talk about cores
The
so
core
much.
text
It's the
of my
best.
life.
I had the
It's-
CD stuck in my sister's car when I first started driving.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
It was this CD it was in my dad's car. It was the
Yeah.
only CD I liked of his.
Spot
Yeah.
welded
I
into
know.
the fucking Sony Discman.
Was it just like given to every family? Just
was
through the
I got it
mail?
from my uncle.
Oh,
I got
okay.
it from my uncle.
It was included in like
government
every
issue. Yeah.
Sonata sold in
Yeah.
like 1994 to 89.
Honey, we got core today in the mail.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. Yeah.
That penny paid off. No, I think that like core. It's something I wanted to say with Radiohead and OK Computer. We talked about it briefly. I think Radiohead fucked up rock and roll. Maybe
yeah,
forever.
we did say that. Yeah.
Because when a band gets like some level of success, they feel like the need to stretch the creative boundaries
Yeah.
to like their breaking point. And what rock and roll needs more than ever, in my opinion, is more Stone Temple
Oh
Pilots.
yeah. Just the coolest possible.
Just
band.
straight down the
Yeah.
middle, something that like my 50-year-old father can
Yeah.
enjoy, and a 11-year-old boy.
The most accessible
it's-
rock music
it
you can
really
think
is.
of. Yeah.
It's just kind of
Yeah.
sick.
That's a really good.
It is sick, and they were cool. Like Scott Weiland was a cool singer. He was a cool guy. The whole band just looks badass.
Yeah.
The bass player looks like Elvis. Yeah.
And we were talking about how Jimmy Chamberlain was a great jazz drummer playing rock. Their guitarist, I think Dean something.
Robert DeLeo.
Yeah,
Robert
or
DeLeo.
no, you're right. It's Dean. Yeah.
Dean, he was playing jazz chords like
Yeah.
Plush. He's playing some weird chords, but it sounds so good in the dissonance and the way they picked it up recording. It's such an earworm.
It
I
always
love,
sounds like
love Plush.
there's two guitars playing at once. He does the bass note, then he does that like.
Yeah. You hear it on this song too.
Yeah,
where
on
it's
this
just
song
like
he's
that,
doing
like-
it. Yeah. This is my favorite track off of Core.
Okay. Because I was gonna say this isn't even the best song on Core.
It's not the best song on Core, but it's my favorite one.
Okay.
It's just I don't know. It has such a vibe to it. It's like Plush, except it doesn't have like any emotional quality
No.
besides just like you're gonna run someone over with your car. You know what I mean?
You're gonna
Like,
hit
that's-
a deer
that's
and
it.
not even
Yeah,
notice.
not even care.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it might be the quintessential Scott Weiland, because it's just the whole time is that.
Yeah. There's a video of them playing this on Letterman. Like it was like maybe their first TV performance, and Weiland he's just got like. He looks like a skinny version of Steve Harwell from Smash Mouth, except with pink hair. Like he's got the glasses
seen
on,
this, yeah.
just the white T-shirt, and he's just so like reserved at the
Oh, we've
beginning.
talked about
and then it
this.
just gets like the song just keeps going, and he just starts doing the weird Scott Weiland shit. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, this guy's a wild.
guy's
man.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a badass performance.
I was
it's
hoping
so
you
good.
would put on Dead and Bloated, dude.
Dead and Bloated rules. Yeah.
Is that the opening track to the
Yes.
record, right?
Cracker Man sex type thing. Cracker Man rules.
Cracker Man's so sick.
Yeah, I'll just always love this record. It's so good.
I like that one album they put out, like Tiny Music.
Tiny
Such a
music.
good-
I
Tiny
just like the
music's good.
intro of it.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that little bam bam.
Yeah.
Bam. It's so vibey, and I'm like, this is Stone Temple Pilots.
It's an
Also-
underrated record. It has like big Beatles influences,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't expect from them.
Yeah, they had like their own vibe, and then like they went in like a really like almost like post grunge direction on that
Number
one
four.
on number 4. Like some of that shit sounds like Velvet Revolver almost.
Yeah, but Down is very
Down
sick.
is a sick song, but Purple's great too. We always
Purple's
forget about
fantastic.
Purple's
That's one of
awesome.
Big Empty.
Oh yeah,
Big Empty.
Big Empty.
I was
Vaseline.
close. I was close close to put Big Empty on this.
Big Empty's
I like
great.
that one.
Vaseline and Interstate Love Song also awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They had they incorporated a lot of like cool slide guitar in their shit too.
And they're like the last song on the album is like always like really weird. Like I think is that 7 Cage Tigers or Kitchen Candy Bars? What the fuck is going on?
Off of Core?
No, off of Purple.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that one. That one like the back of my hand. Like I do
Core, yeah.
But yeah, that Stone Temple Pilots Wicked Garden rules so hard. Let's move on.
This is my last pick. This is Built to Spill with Carry the Zero. I think Built to Spill is one of the most underrated bands of all time. This 3-album run that they had in the 90s with what?
No, should we tell the Built to Spill story?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
tell it.
we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, starting with There's Nothing Wrong with Love, Perfect From Now On, and then Keep It Like a Secret, which this album is on. Yeah, Doug Marsh has a really cool approach to indie rock. He has like a lot more classic rock influence, guitar-wise, than I think a lot of like the indie contemporaries. And he's a great guitarist, but it's never like shredding. It's always these like soundscapes of like cool guitar shit. I love this song so much.
This is the first Built to Spill song I ever heard. I mean, I tried to get very deep into them for that show.
For
I
that
went
show.
to go just for that show. And I started off with this, and I heard some great shit. Nothing that stuck with me as much as this song, but this song, like, I'll always recognize it whenever it comes on. And I love at the beginning when like it sounds like they're gonna really explode into something, and the song just kind of stays like really reserved and quiet. I love that. It's a cool touch.
There's so much loud, quiet in the 90s.
Yeah,
and it's a good thing to
It
bring
was the
up.
decade of loud, quiet.
It sure
Yeah,
was.
Pixies, such a loud, quiet.
I mean,
thing.
you know, Smashing Pumpkins is kind of that vibe too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Big time.
Big time. Yeah, and his lyrics are really good. Like the lyrics on this song are great, and there's a cool story that he'd written Perfect From Now On. Like he had the entire thing mapped out, and that's probably their most like epic album. Like there's not a song under like 6 minutes, but he needed a drummer, and at one point Jay Mascis was gonna play drums for Built to Spill,
Whoa.
but then he was just like, I don't want to be telling Jay Mascis what to do. It's like the guy from Dinosaur Jr. be like, no, don't, the ride there.
Yeah. That's wrong.
Jay Mascis plays like fucking huge drums. You ever see him play with that band that he plays drums in?
I didn't know he was a drummer.
Yeah, he plays
I
drums
didn't
in a
either.
band called Witch with King
Oh, he
Tut.
plays drums in that?
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
didn't
he
know
plays like a 30-inch kick drum, like just like the
Really?
biggest fucking thing. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the epitome of just loudness.
he is.
Yes.
But then like he's loud as fuck. But then his personality is just like
so
whatever.
reserved. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what drummer has a really big kick drum? You know that you guys ever hear that band? They're Gutting a Body of Water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
He
heard of
plays a
that.
28-inch kick drum.
That's
Really?
badass.
He just got it.
Whoa.
What are they? They're like.
They're Philly.
Are they like shoegazy? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've listened to them.
Yeah,
before.
but they
That's
mic
heavy.
that kick drum up. It rips.
Yeah, I
Sounds
bet.
good.
Yeah.
Damn. Custom.
Yeah, I started getting into Build to Spill for a single show that I had tickets to that I was taking a girl to see. I won't say who it is, but yeah, I was taking a girl to see Build to Spill, and I didn't know anything about them. I was just like, I got these tickets, let's go. And this is how I sort of met Evan.
Oh, I
we-
love this
we-
story.
We had met, we had like had a handful of shows together.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other
Maybe
super
like
well.
twice. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and we were just starting to like our bands were just starting to play with each other, and I took this girl to the show. We see Built to Spill. They close with How Soon Is Now by the Smiths.
And for the record, Built to Spill, one of my favorite bands. The Smiths, my favorite band.
Yeah,
So I was just like glowing.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
In your
And I
moment.
was drunk.
yeah, and,
Sick.
yeah. This is a long time ago, and so I knew the song. I wasn't like a huge Smiths fan or anything like that. I just knew the song from hearing it before. And the girl I was with, I was like, I remember like hearing it, and I was like, "What is this song?" I was like, "I fucking know this song. What is it?" And she was like, "I'm not sure. I have no idea." And then so we're walking out of the venue. We run into Evan, and I'm like, oh hey, like we're just like making small talk. It was like Evan and Jim from TV's Norm as well, and like another one of our buddies, and we're talking, catching up, and then I was like, hey, what was that song that they covered at the end? I was like, I know that song, and I was like, I don't know it. She doesn't know it either, and she was like, I don't know. I've never heard it, and Evan just, you could go ahead.
I go, it was How Soon Is Now by the Smiths. And then I look over, and his date is wearing a Smith shirt. And I go, you're wearing a Smith shirt? How did you not know it was How Soon Is Now?
And she just closed it up.
And then they left. And I barely knew Nate at this point. We got into the Uber right back. I was like, dude, that dude hates me. I just
I'm surprised you
checked his girlfriend right in front of him. Like, what is wrong with you?
I'm surprised you weren't name 3 other songs by the Smiths
Yes.
right now.
It was essentially a name 3 songs moment
In real life.
on a first date I was having with this girl.
Yeah.
And I was essentially just like, he's right. I mean, I'm not going to be doing this with no posers,
And
right?
then we never talked
Yeah,
again.
we really, we never went out again. But it wasn't because of that. We just
Yes,
didn't.
it was. Look at you
So
now.
awesome,
Look
though.
at you now. You're sitting on a
Looking back,
podcast.
just one of the best
I know.
moments.
I'm sitting on the podcast with the dude that ruined that.
I know. If you only knew, you were hitching your horse to the wrong wagon. I was letting you know.
Your whole life could have been different,
know.
brother.
I know.
God.
It was so funny. I still think about how funny that is.
Oh, this episode's got it all, man.
It does.
It's
It really
got the
does.
stories,
We've
dude.
touched all the bases
Yeah.
here.
But yeah, that's Carry the Zero by Built to Spill. Let's move on. Jake, you're up.
Oh, yeah. So I get 4 picks because I'm special.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah.
special
I-
guest.
true.
It was because I couldn't decide on a 4th, and I said I'd dial it down to 3, and I lied.
That's fine.
I straight
You're
up
the
lied.
special
Fine.
guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonic Youth, they're cool. The reason I found out about them back when I was super into that, getting into that 90s stuff. I remember I was at the boardwalk. I was at the beach with my family. And I was looking at this record store, and there were kids in there that I was talking to, and they were talking about Sonic Youth, and I was like, oh, I don't know them. They're like you need to listen to this, and they handed me Dirty,
Oh, hell yeah.
and
That's cool.
I was like, okay, I like the album cover. It had a little plush, orange octopus thing. I'm like, this looks cool. And then I turn this on. I'm like, this is sick. The drumming is so simplistic.
Yeah.
But Steve Shadow, the drummer, he went so hard on this for no reason. He's smashing the hell out of the drums. They're purposeful. And also, what other band can go on, a talk show and just take baseball bats and screwdrivers and just smash the fuck out of their instruments and make noise with a freaking screwdriver?
Yeah.
Did they do that? I don't
Yeah.
know much about Sonic Youth.
Yeah,
admittedly.
They would do it pretty often, but they went on TV, they played the song, and during the breakdown with all the noise, they their guitarist just they both took a baseball bat and a screwdriver or whatever, they had a drumstick, and they just started rubbing it on their strings
so
and it
badass.
started making
Sick.
some
Yeah.
weird noises.
Yeah.
My buddy just sent me a clip of them covering I Want to Be Your Dog on a Canadian late night show in the 80s. It is the best cover of all time. I mean, it's just so loud and so disgusting.
Hell yeah.
That sounds like Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear this record because I like their Evil and Sister, some of the older more chaotic stuff, and it's weird hearing this is their attempt at mainstream rock, and it still sounds like Aliens.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Sonic Youth. There's always been a band that I've tried to get into several times. Listened to probably 2 of their albums front to back, and nothing ever I've always liked it, but nothing ever stuck with me. But I need to turn a certain age where I'm just gonna be Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I'm
liked
there
them
with
forever, and it's been my favorite band. That will happen at some point.
I feel
Yeah.
like you
Sorry.
would appreciate an album like Evil or an album like Sister. They're very, very strange. A lot of anxiety, very darkness, very noisy. The stuff in the 90s is good too, like Dirty and Goo. It's a little more streamlined, but it's as streamlined as Sonic Youth is going to get when they're
Yeah.
a bunch of freaks. who
Yeah,
are
I
making
need to.
noise.
I need to just jump in
Yeah.
deep. Yeah.
It says a lot that there are 2 really successful albums in the band in the 90s. One called Dirt, one called Dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
hell
is
yeah,
awesome.
That's
Yeah, it's
badass.
pretty sweet.
It's the
Hell yeah.
sequel. Yeah. Dirty.
Where's Lane Staley at?
If you want to
Um,
talk to a guy about Sonic Youth, you got to talk to Justin Bennett.
I was
dude.
just gonna bring up
dude.
Justin.
That
Bennett.
guy
Yeah.
could talk to you for about 17
Yeah.
hours about Sonic Youth.
First time I met him, he was wearing a Sonic Youth T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I think of Sonic Youth, besides the music, I think of Justin Bennett.
I remember
Yeah.
they covered schizophrenia in a basement, and I was like,
Oh, that's
"Holy
sick.
shit! How do you even do that?"
Didn't they do a whole show as Sonic Youth?
I wouldn't
think
be
so,
yeah. I
surprised
think
during
they
like
did.
Halloween time or something. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to know what '80s Sonic Youth sounds like, it sounds like
So-
Silver Car Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like trying to get into Sonic Youth, I was like, this sounds familiar, and it's Silver Car Crash, but not in like a
No,
like
no, in a
like
cool
bad
way.
way, in a cool way. They
Yeah.
just took like an influence from them, but yeah, shout out to Silver Car Crash and shout out to Sonic Youth.
yeah, because they're listening. To
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both.
They made it an hour in.
Yeah.
Thurston Moore is like, "Get to our song. We're talking about Alice in Chains."
Yeah. Let's move on to our last song of the night, fellas.
Yeah, we got. This is my last pick. This is like a '90s classic. Like it goes like "Smells Like Teen Spirit." This one to me, maybe.
Yeah. When I
This
said
is-
'90s cool, the Breeders, it's number 2. This is
Yeah,
number
this
one.
is
this
actually
this is
cool.
"Sabotage" by Beastie Boys. I mean, I saw you cover this once.
Yeah.
Did
It
you
ruled.
kill it? Was it sick?
It was the coolest thing.
I was
I
on
bet it
bass.
was.
Yeah, he
That
was
was
on
the,
bass.
that was the best thing I've ever played on bass was getting to do this bass line.
Dude,
It's
it
a
was
good bass
pitch
line.
It's the
perfect.
best. Yeah.
There was I think it's on the internet. You can
Yeah?
probably find it.
Yeah.
Got all the lyrics.
No, I
No?
didn't. But I covered them. I made it sound
Yeah.
enough like it.
Convincing. You made the mouth sounds that were the lyrics. Yeah.
But as I had screamed the last like word and know I had fucked up the last verse, I was
Passed
like,
out.
"That's it,
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
We had one."
Yeah. One
Yeah.
time is good.
The Beastie Boys are interesting because like obviously they started off as a punk rock band and then they did the License to Ill and they were a rap group and they kept doing the rap stuff but then they started playing their own instruments live.
They went back to playing their instruments on Check Your Head. Like they
Yep.
did Gratitude. Like that's like has them all playing like drums, bass.
Yep.
Gratitude is sick. Didn't they do
I
that
love
video of like the Pink Floyd at Pompeii?
Yeah.
very similar
yeah,
to that.
Yeah. Really
Awesome.
cool. I
Yep.
love that music video.
It's a
But
good video.
yeah, you're right. I mean, they are such a cool band because they're a rap group that will pick up instruments and just be as good.
And they're mean
Yep.
as fuck.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
They have just incredible taste.
I
So,
know.
Like
It's awesome.
Like their debut License to Ill is incredible. They like hate it because
Really?
It's like, yeah, I mean it's very fratty.
Yeah,
and, like they've
yeah.
distanced themselves.
But
from,
that's
like,
why
stuff.
it's awesome too.
True.
Yeah.
But then they do Paul's Boutique, which is like really the first like sample heavy rap album, and like the samples on that are insane.
They just sampled a bunch of old soul and funk records.
Yeah.
It's such a good album.
And Sweetleaf.
Oh,
They
yeah.
sampled, what
Yeah.
they sampled Sweetleaf on that album?
Yeah. What the
Yeah.
fuck
What
is the
song is
called?
that?
I need to go back to my fucking Beastie Boys. I thought I knew my
I
shit.
think
I
it's the
don't
first
remember.
song on the album.
I'm
Yeah,
kind
out
of
of
feeling the
town.
same. I feel like a poser right now.
But then when they go into the 90s, they start bringing in like alternative rock elements like
Yeah.
this and Sure Shot. Yeah,
You
just
could tell they didn't have like during the extent of their career, they didn't have like total tunnel vision to what was going on around them. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like they kind of like adopted whatever was going on and took their own spin with it, and it was
Yeah.
always awesome.
and never followed the conventions of what anybody else was doing
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're just that one band that you can always set. Like if you're listening to them in any decade, it's always going to be cool.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Root Down from this album is so sly. I like that
Oh
song
yeah,
a
that's a
lot.
good point.
The wah on it's so clean.
I'm an
dirty.
intergalactic guy. I like
cool.
Hello
Yeah.
Nasty a
Cool.
lot. Like Body Moving's great. Intergalactic. Just that album. I mean,
Dude, Intergalactic when I was a kid was the best song I'd ever heard.
it's so
in my
sick.
life.
It's still so sick.
It's the robot noises.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
You covered Gratitude,
Yeah,
or do we not talk about that?
we don't talk about
All right.
Why don't we talk? No, why don't we talk about it?
it. We don't talk about it.
Okay, we looks like we're not talking about it
I quit my band.
Yeah.
because of a gratitude cover.
Yeah,
Because of that.
covering Gratitude.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the one that does Sweetleaf, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out later. I was like,
The comments
we'll
will
just
tell
wait
me
for Evan to-
I'm a fucking idiot, and that's when
we'll
we'll
edit
know.
that in. We'll just like have
Yeah.
a robot voice be like
Mhm.
what the song title
Yeah,
is
we
over
can do that.
Evan's stupid
But
voice.
anyways, that's the show. Thanks everyone for listening. Jake, thanks so much for being our first guest.
Yeah,
Jake was
Thanks.
so good.
Thanks for having
So
me. Thanks
good.
for watching.
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Hope you had fun.
I had a blast.
We're going to have you back at some point.
Yeah.
You got to make the return.
It's so sweet because I used to talk about 90s music all the time, and everyone else would just be like, why the fuck are you talking about this
Come
right
on,
now?
dude.
We're in math class
Yeah.
right now.
Just tapping on people's shoulders. How sick is dirt, Alice? Like, shut up.
It's rhyming and stealing, and it's on License to Ill. So.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, close one, dude.
They sampled Zeppelin on that
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
When the
did.
levee
Yeah.
breaks, yeah.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so fun. Go check out Jake's bands, Feeble Little Horse. You probably know Feeble Little Horse. They're fucking awesome.
We've talked about them on the podcast.
We have
before.
talked about them so much.
Hey, Jake, do you have any cool gigs coming up
Yeah.
this summer?
This summer, this weekend, I don't know when this episode is going to be out, but at the end of March, we're playing in D.C. Feeble Little Horse is playing in D.C., and then we're playing the Coachella Festival next month in April, doing a show in Los Angeles. Then we're doing Philadelphia at the Julius War Fest. There's going to be a lot of awesome bands at the Julius War Fest. Halloween is one of my favorites in Philly. They're really cool, so you should check their EP out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then at Inebriators, we have a show in Pittsburgh at Remedy in April.
Remedy
April
still
26th.
They're starting to host.
Oh, yeah, they
shows
are now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
With Northern Gloom, some really cool rock band. I like those dudes a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, they're like goth almost. Like they're like goth Deftones almost.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. I just love the hell out of those dudes in
Yeah.
that band. Though.
Their band is awesome.
They're good dudes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mikey, Corey, and Brian, the
Yeah.
big three, the Holy Triumvirate, as I like to
Holy
say.
Triumvirate.
Yeah, dude.
Whoa, those dudes are
Yeah.
awesome.
But go check out Feeble Little Horse. Go check out the Inebriators. Go follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and Patreon.
Nice.
We're going to be doing some more Patreon episodes. I say that every week, but we will be
We'll
doing
follow
one.
through eventually.
Yes. And we got new, new ideas coming up on the show. As I said, we have our first guest. Our first guest. This is the first new thing we've
We
done.
did it.
in a
We
long time.
followed through with it.
Yeah.
We did follow through with it.
We blew our wad on the new idea. We have to come up with a
This is
new
the
one.
New idea.
The next guest is going to be the girl that Nate went to that concert with.
It's like
It's going to be sick.
It's gonna be an intervention.
so 15 years ago. Explain yourself.
do you know any more
Yeah.
Smith songs now?
Were you a Smiths fan at the time of that show? Yeah,
How do you
that's
feel
the
about
next
this
guest.
man with a mustache?
She's like, I see him in my
Do you
dreams.
remember him?
You're like under a hood, and we
yeah.
reveal you.
Thanks everyone for watching. This has been I Quit My Band. We'll see you next time. Bye.